Yeah.
So the thing is, if you're buying a property through an agent that is not licensed, who are you going to take it up with? The PPRA? But they're not even, so there's no like fund
PPRA
to
is not gonna
protect
do
you.
anything, yeah.
There's no recourse. If you're not licensed and have a valid Fidelity Fund certificate with a PPRA, you're actually not allowed to get paid. And for the consumer, there's no recourse.
The agents that fail, 9 times out of 10, are the ones that say, I stop working at 5.
You learn a lot with life and experiences, but things if you new in the industry, find yourself a mentor that will help you along the way.
The question I have for you is, how many clients are you picking up from social media and how many are you selling from social media? Welcome back to Zap Talks, the podcast brought to you by Zap Hub, your most trusted, safe, and verified platform in all of South Africa. We are meeting Nuno Brasido. Now, if you don't know who this man is, where have you been? He is the #1 content creator on TikTok for property practitioners. He has a YouTube channel with almost 80,000 subscribers. He is also big on Facebook and Instagram. And we are meeting with Bruno today because he is a #1 property practitioner in South Africa. And this is what we want to talk about. How the hell did he get here? Where did he start and what do we need to know? Because everyone thinks they can be a property practitioner, but it's just not for everyone. And that's what we're here to discuss today. So welcome, Nuno. Welcome to Zap Talks.
Well, thank you very much. Looking forward to spending some time with you and obviously your viewers. Just shouts, yeah. Any questions? Just
we got questions,
let's chat,
Nuno. We got questions.
Because like you said, everyone thinks they can become a real estate agent, but it's really not for everyone.
It's really not. I mean, the stats are 90% our turnover rate in property space. And it's expensive. It's damn expensive. A lot of people think, like you said earlier, there is no ceiling, but there is always a floor. There is always somewhere to start. It's a very expensive career and it's not as easy as people think. So I'm going to start with a couple starting line. Where on earth do people begin? So obviously you built a massive platform throughout South Africa, but you started from nothing. How did this all go? Where was the moment that pivoted for you?
Look, starting out, I come from nothing. So I think just that hunger for progression, which was important to me, I identified some role models in the industry, people that were doing well. I'm like, that's the life that I want to live. Mm-hmm. And one common trait is that they all worked really hard. So like for me, starting out and getting into the industry, I saw a lot of agents messing around. When I say messing around, it's more about like the social side of things, and it's great. It gives you the freedom. But in the beginning, I didn't have the money for those social things.
Yep.
So when everyone was going out for lunches, and obviously I wanted to be at the lunch, I just didn't have the money. So what did I do? I worked.
Yeah.
And I worked to a point where I could start going for lunches, but what ended up happening, I just continued to work harder. So yeah, fortunately, that's one of my traits, and my strong points is that you could say I'm a workaholic.
I think you have to be in this industry.
You have to be,
really
especially if you want to be successful.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just from the first sale to the next sale to the 100 I'm sure like over 1,000 sales like in my career. It's just all hard work, and everyone has their own story. And I remember a lot of the clients, and I've got the photos to prove it. So go on to Instagram, you can find me on any platform. So yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So when you said you just worked hard, so obviously a lot of companies give you the platforms to do cold calling. Did you cold call?
So I mainly door knocked, because when I first started, there wasn't all these systems in place, the Lightstones taking, the ID number or the Looms or all those different platforms. For me, it was just about rocking up, making sure that if I see that there's a for sale board, if I think that you might potentially be selling, or I know that maybe you sold or there was some movement 5 years ago, I'd go and introduce myself. So it's just putting in a face to the name instead of just picking up the phone.
Yeah, like I often say cold calling is the biggest waste of time. I am a huge proponent against cold calling. I've never cold called a day in my life. And when I moved to South Africa, all of the agencies I worked with were like, cold call. For every 20, you'll land one. And I'm like, oh, that's terrible.
I think there's obviously like a place for it. And I tell my agents that they must cold call because obviously times are changing. It is evolving. But I say, if you can put a face to the name, rather go there. Don't be lazy.
Yeah.
I wasn't lazy. I didn't really have, and like in the beginning, I didn't have, the nicest car. Sometimes I'd park around the corner.
Yeah.
If it was a nice house, I could park around the corner, go say hello. This is who I am. And the thing is, I was very young when I started.
Yeah.
So,
how old were you when you started?
I was 20 years old. So what I used to do, I used to have a wedding ring. And I'd wear it on my wedding ring finger.
Are so similar. That's what I did.
To look a little bit older. I want people to take me serious. I was serious about myself, right?
Yeah.
I wanted to be seen as a professional.
Yeah.
So that's what I used to do.
I used to hide my car as well. I remember when I had the money to buy my first real car. Oh, I was so proud of that damn thing.
Yeah.
Before I was driving this, you guys don't have them in South Africa, but it's a Neon. It was the most ridiculous car ever. Cost me $3,000. It was super cheap at that time, and I used to hide.
Yeah.
We talked about cold calling. I 100% agree. There's a time and space for cold calling, but we've done studies through Zap Hub. The number one hated individual in South Africa, shockingly, is property practitioners. They're below taxi drivers. I know. It's incredible. Attorneys then came after that. A number one complaint was how many people cold called them.
Yeah.
So in an industry when your consumers are saying, stop cold calling us, why is there such a huge push to cold calling? When your consumers are saying, stop it. What would again, you didn't do it. That's how you blew up. So if our consumers are saying, stop harassing us, what would the next best idea in this day and age that you'd recommend?
Social media.
Yeah.
Because that's you following up with someone. So if you obviously got a presence, and as you grow, if you are posting consistently, people will remember you. Mm-hmm. And when people click on you and you follow, then their friends and family might start seeing you.
Exactly.
So that's what I would 100% focus on growing. Not the only thing. You obviously have to put in the hard work with it. But in terms of cold calling, some people are gifted. Like I've worked with some very gifted people where they're just brilliant on the phone.
Yeah.
When I started, I think there's a fear of rejection, for every salesman. But
helps build the confidence for sure.
Yeah, but it helps. Once you start seeing it's all about that muscle memory, how to almost handle a client. But you might pick up a client where they just lost a friend or a sibling or a family member, and they might tell you to F off. I've been sworn at. While door knocking. It's like, okay, what do I do?
Yeah.
And I just wanted to work so hard in the beginning so that I would stop cold calling or stop door knocking.
Yeah.
Because now people call me.
Exactly.
I don't canvas anymore.
Exactly.
I don't door knock anymore.
Yeah.
It's not to say that I don't. Sometimes if I've got it's very rare where I'd be driving, I've got 10 minutes and I see, there's a for sale board, I might just knock and say, hi.
Yeah. Yeah.
How can I help you?
But do you now bring on, because you have a team, so would you recommend that people find a Nuno in the industry? I mentored with someone and I shadowed that man everywhere, and he was the number one agent in the area. And I remember I didn't care. I did it for weeks. I think I did it for 6 weeks in total. I followed him to every single appointment.
That's what you should
And
do.
then I would say to him, I'll go be your door knocker. I'll be that person for you. So I think property practitioners always want to go in and alone.
Yes.
I need an assistant. Follow me for free and become my assistant. And you learn so much from the people that have been in the industry. You learn the jargon. You absorb their confidence.
Paid their dues. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So is the question, would you find a mentor to mentor you? 100%. I think your first, I know you said it 6 weeks. I would say the first 2 years, just dependent on, do you have life experience? Are you very young? Do you know how to sell?
Yeah.
Do you know how to close?
Yeah.
I think you learn a lot with life and experiences, but the thing is, if you're new in the industry, find yourself a mentor that will help you along the way and see who's doing well.
Follow them.
You know, there's a lot of noise in the industry. There's a lot of negative agents. Oh, the market's terrible. Don't listen to that agent. The market is amazing, and it can be amazing if you think it's amazing.
Yeah.
So for me, find yourself a mentor. I had one of the best mentors, and I was very fortunate. I still keep in touch with him today, and his name was Ryan Kwan. So yeah, I think I was under him for probably about 4 years, to a point where the principal was like, no, you have to go on yourself.
Go.
You're good enough. But
Swim now.
I started when I was 20. So I was probably about 24 when I started going on my own. But like, I still would phone him and like run things. But what I used to do, I'd go with the top 4 agents at the company. So it was Warwick, it was Ryan, it was Jason, and it was another Ryan. So it was Ryan Kwan and Ryan SK. And I'd ask them, please, can I come just learn from you? That's all I want to do. And I'd record it, I'd go home and I'd listen to it.
Yeah.
Why did they say this in that moment?
Yeah.
And I'd just study them. And I didn't watch TV for a good 6 or 7 years.
Still don't watch TV.
I still actually don't. Well,
do you have time for TV, really?
Well, not really. But look, if you ask my wife, she'll tell you that I normally work when you're watching like series. And so yeah, it's always working, right, in this industry. It's from the moment you open your eyes to when you close your eyes.
Well, and people need to also realize that real estate is not a 9-to-5.
No.
The agents that fail 9 times out of 10 are the ones that say, I stop working at 5.
Yeah.
This is your own business, your own job. I don't know how many agents I picked up their clients simply because they just didn't answer.
Yeah.
And I was the agent that answered all day, every day. You could catch me at midnight and I'm still like, hi. Yeah. Because for me, yes, it was that hard work and going to the open houses and the on shows for other agents, but it was also always being the available agent. There was no time. And if I didn't respond or if I was on another call, I literally text and say, I'm going to call you right back, just to give them that little response. Yeah.
Such a good habit to get into. Just be so good on your phone, because if you're not there, someone else is going to pick it up.
Well, especially with these open mandates in South Africa. How many times I've called an agent, they don't respond. I call the next agent, they respond.
Yeah.
You're going to lose customers that way. Especially with our open mandate situation. When I have 9 agents to choose from, one of them's going to pick up. And it's not you, then it's going to be the next guy. It's the same. We do this all day in the industry. Yeah. Right. So I think a lot of property practitioners forget that there is loads of money to be made, but it is not a 9-to-5 job. And if you want to make it a 9-to-5 job, be the admin, be the receptionist, be someone else. Do not be the actual trusted agent. So there's one thing, and this became big in my world. You become your client's physiotherapist, referral, cafe around the corner, where's the closest school, what's the best school? How did you navigate becoming, because I know you are, people will call you for anything. Listen, my toilet's clogged, which plumber am I getting hold of? Like, you become their advisor, and that creates that trust forever and always. So what is do you have a book of business that you refer? Like, what do you do in that realm?
Yeah, so I do have a book of business, and I've also been burnt, so I know who not to go with, and that's the last time I ever actually speak to that person, just with how they handled everything. And so from electricians to plumbers, from someone that can help with plans. And I've kind of got quite a really good team at the moment, where if someone says, no, do you have someone, even though I sold them a property 5 years ago, do you have someone that can help with the plans or whatever, very happy to just pass it on. And because I know that I've been in the industry for nearly 15 years. So
gosh, I feel old now.
I'm not giving away my age, but it's been 15
you're
great
younger
years.
than me, and that's what matters.
It's been 15 great years, but yes, I do have a book of contacts that I can help you with. And if I trust them, you can also, and obviously do your own quotes. Get 3 or 4 different quotes, but the cheapest isn't necessarily the one to go with. That might just create problems down the line.
But it's also something property practitioners need to remember. If you don't have a book of business for referrals, they're going to call you in the middle. They just listed with you. You just land the contract. You're the number 1 person that they picked. And then they call you and say, oh, we need a mover. Now they've lost confidence in you being that advisor. So I would recommend that property practitioners build that book of referral business. I got to a point where I would never refer one, I'd refer 5. Because if they're going to have a bad day, don't have a bad day on my on my account. So I would say, here's the 5 people I recommend. Vet them, verify, have quotes, do whatever you need to. And that's kind of what we're trying to build with ZapHub, is to give that separation for property practitioners so that they don't have to refer people. They could just go, go to ZapHub. There's tons of verified property practitioners on there and service providers. So for an agent who is camera shy, because property has moved to social media, the question I have for you is, how many clients are you picking up from social media and how many are you selling from social media?
Doing a lot. Doing a lot.
Like 50% or more?
Obviously, it's on
depends on the property.
Talking about on average. Let's talk on average. I'd probably say around 40% my business is coming from social. Could actually be more.
That's
40,
huge.
It's very big.
That's huge.
And it started with being 1%, then it became 3%, and it's growing.
Oh, of course, and it's going to keep growing.
If a property goes viral, hundreds of thousands can see it, where they weren't even looking for the property.
Exactly.
They weren't even thinking of
it could also
buying
go viral
in
globally.
Glen Vista or in Sandhurst. Or at the end of the day, social media is so powerful, and if you're not using it today to your benefit, you're just going to become a dinosaur. So I highly recommend you get comfortable. Like, I wasn't comfortable in the beginning, but I'm like, this I know is the future. So I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, but now I'm comfortable.
Yeah. And we were even saying, even when we started this podcast, you still get those goosies. Like,
no
matter what, there's only 2 people here and we're still like, oh, there's 1 million people watching us, because you have no idea how many people are going to watch you. It could be 200 or it could be 10,000, 10 million. I mean, I'm always very mindful in social media of what content I'm putting out, unless I'm very passionate about it. I couldn't care less. But when it comes to a property, and we see this in property all the time, agents not using professional pictures.
My worst.
So let's talk about a property practitioner wants to get into the space. First thing we're recommending is a mentor. You have to have one legally anyway, but get a real good mentor. I mean, I had mentors when I first started in South Africa and they were just useless. Like, I couldn't even find them half the time. Find a good mentor. Secondly, invest in your photography. Do not skip on that part. And then start social media. Like, you might not have any properties, but talk about property. Talk about mortgage.
Exactly.
Become the trusted advisor. So for you obviously have a ton of stock that you can put out a ton of content. If you had to start from scratch today, how would you start?
So look, if I had to start today, I would obviously get all the admin out of the way, make sure I become registered, make sure I pick the right agency that I want to work for, that's going to help me get into the door. The smaller boutiques, yes, they might maybe have more time for you, but the thing is, if you're starting out, the bigger firms will almost give you that credibility already. You know that they are hopefully doing things correctly. You don't know what you don't know, especially being young, especially if you are young. But just, ask the questions, see where you want to be, see where you fit in. So where I would start today, look, I didn't have social media when I started. I had a Facebook page, but that was a personal Facebook page. And then it evolved. And then where are you talking about, which platform would I maybe start on?
You just got into property.
The nice thing, I'd invite everybody onto my journey. Ladies and gentlemen.
Do a blog.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, join me as I work towards my first sale in Johannesburg, in Glen Vista, in Cape Town, in Dubai, wherever you are in the world. Join me on my journey, and people want to be on your journey with you, whether it's just your mom watching or your friends, but you never know who you might inspire along the way.
Absolutely.
Like, I get a ton of messages, I just love what you're doing, and I really appreciate it. Sometimes I don't respond to them, but I really do appreciate it. It's just like, life is chaos, especially if a property is going viral on Facebook and another property is going viral on YouTube. It's like, your phone doesn't stop. It's like,
Yeah.
well, like, how do you even do it?
Yeah.
And then, that's why I needed a PA, and my business is now evolving, because it has to evolve.
Yeah, and the thing is, you start, and I always said, starts for me personally, when I got one listing, that listing was everything to me. I mean, I was young too. I think I started when I was 20, 21. And I
Good
was
time to start being young, because you don't have fixed expenses. Often you don't.
Exactly. You have no children, you have no partner sometimes. Like, you could work 17, 18 hours a day, and it is. I 100% agree with you. And then you build to the retirement ages. But when I first started, I was always very concerned about my age because I'm young. But then I thought, why can't I use my age as my favor? So I would go to a listing appointment and they'd be like, what's your experience? 0. I have no experience whatsoever, but I'm brand new and I have something to prove.
Yeah.
All you need to do is give me this listing and I will sell it. It will be the only listing I take. All of these other agents had 10, 20 listings. I have you. You are the only thing I care about. And that's how I won my contracts.
Yeah.
Because I just had the passion. Like, I have something to prove, and all I need you to do is give me the chance to prove it. I will be the best advertiser ever. I mean, I remember I went to the mall and handed out flyers at the mall for this guy's house. I was in a small town, so it was much easier. There's 20,000 people that lived there. And I flyed every single car in that entire parking lot. Then I drove to all the bars and flyed all their cars with this house. Nobody knew this house was not for sale. Nobody in the entire town.
You gave your seller exposure.
Exactly. And we ended up selling. It was a very expensive house, and I was able to sell it where no other agent was able to. And it's because all the other agents were in that old school mentality. I came from the new, got something to prove.
Energy.
Exactly.
You believed in it. You had a point to prove.
Exactly.
You were a dog with a bone.
Exactly.
And you made sure that you made it work. So your follow-up game is very good. You don't give up, which is great. Even with me, you kept following up. So it's for any new agent, you need to be relentless with following up, because there's going to be so many no's, but you just got to believe that it's going to happen, eventually happen. You're going to get that yes. So
but also build that confidence in yourself. Remember, because there isn't, I heard the story the other day, someone said borrow confidence from someone else. And that's why I say get a mentor, because you're confident.
Yeah.
So if someone had to mentor with you, that seeps onto other people. We always surround ourselves with what we want to be, right? So again, don't follow someone who has been in the industry for 50 years but sold 2 houses.
Yeah.
I hear this all the time. I've been in the industry 52. Yeah,
that's the negative agent. So just make sure that you're getting the right information from the right people with the right energy. Attitude is everything. If you optimistic, you halfway there. And people will want to know your story. They want to buy into you. They're going to want to listen to you.
They want you to be successful, and they want to be a part of that story. So I always say, use your disadvantage as your advantage.
I was with a client yesterday. I met him at gym 14 years ago. And I was actually met with him and his son. His son just got into real estate. And he's like, no, when I met you those 14 years ago, I knew you were going to make it, even if you didn't think you were going to make it. And he said 9 out of 10 agents don't make it. I speak to agents, he's got properties around the world.
Yeah.
Very, very successful businessman. And he's like, just every time I speak to you, it's just fun.
Yeah.
And I listen to him because I see him as one of my role models.
Yeah.
So, it's powerful.
Well, it is, especially when people believe in you more than you believe in yourself. So borrow that belief if you need to. So we're talking about new professionals getting into the industry. Obviously, we discussed before the podcast how many people are unlicensed in the industry. To the consumer, how important is this? Why do we care?
It's so important.
Why does it matter?
It's so important. So firstly, if you're not licensed and have a valid Fidelity Fund certificate with a PPRA, you're actually not allowed to get paid. And for the consumer, there's no recourse.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if you're buying a property through an agent that is not licensed, who are you going to take it up with? The PPRA? But they're not even, so there's no fund to protect you. There's no recourse.
Yeah.
So make sure that you are hiring the right agent. There's a lot of fly-by-night agents in our industry, and I've seen it over the years. For 15 years, they're going to come and they're going to say, no, I'll give it to you for X amount of commission, and you think it's great, but like I said in the beginning, it might come back to bite you. And so always have a professional where you can, always. Look, some sellers, they don't know, but they don't ask the right questions. With me, I advertise that I'm registered with the PPRA, I'm full status, I can sign any documents wherever I go. And if you're not a full status agent, you shouldn't be putting your signature onto anything, because you haven't earned it. You've got to pay your dues. Absolutely. So be with your mentor, make sure you become that registered agent and that you're doing things the right way.
So for the sellers then, what are 3 questions a seller needs to ask a property practitioner before they even consider hiring them?
Very good question. It's obviously dependent, but it's like, who do you work for? Okay. You know, do you have a valid Fidelity Fund certificate? Like, ask them. They should have it with them. Yeah. They can go onto the PPRA website, type their name, and you'll be able to see if they actually a registered agent. And if they're not, stay away. And then just kind of see, like, what is their track record? Look, obviously, if you don't have experience and you're starting out, maybe give them an opportunity. Be a better person or be a good person.
But it's just what we talked about with that guy. So I had no track record.
Yeah.
So when he said, what's your experience? Well, none.
But you're honest.
But that's what I mean. This is what agents need to understand. Be transparent. Explain your marketing plan. And then it doesn't matter about your experience. You know, sellers want to feel trustworthy and they want to trust you. So it's really great to work for Chase Everett, and Chase Everett has a name. But maybe you do want to go to a boutique store because you feel they give more energy or whatnot. That's fine, but understand where you're at and meet your client where you're at, and don't lie. Exactly. As soon as you lie and get caught, they're done. They're 100%. Out. So sellers need to ask for experience, but if there is an agent that lacks experience, what is their game plan? Because at the end of the day, you could have a very experienced agent, but we're going to say not Nuno, but they're so busy that you're just a number now. Yeah. You know what I mean? And this happens in the industry too. There are licensed bad agents. Yeah. And I unfortunately met some of them where they don't take professional pictures. They're locking you into a sole and exclusive, and you're just now a number. And you get lost.
You do get lost, and that's what I like about what you said, is that just give me that opportunity and I'm going to do whatever I can to get the property sold. And I was like that when I first started out. You know, fortunately, my first show day when I was 20 years old, I sold it on my first day. So I was very fortunate. And then it went from, like 1 sale my first year to 4 sales, and it grew. And obviously I could, practice what I preach by purchasing properties. And that's when I became more confident and all of that. But if you've got that social media presence, you must say it, to the potential seller. This is what I've got. I'm going to give you exposure. And I'm going to spend on it, and I'm going to boost it, and I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm not promising you that I'm going to sell it with you within 3 months or 6 months. All I can tell you now is that I'm going to give you effort, because that's all I can give you.
Yeah, exactly.
In a perfect world, I'll have it sold for you within a month, and I'll have 2 competing offers, and you're going to pick who you want to go with, and hopefully it's at the right terms. But I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you when it's going to happen. All you need to do is trust me.
Yeah.
I've done this. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of, clients from both buyers and sellers, and then sellers become buyers and buyers become sellers. And over the years, people come back to me because they know I'm going to do the same. And look, it can get lost, when you obviously got such a massive pipeline, a lot of stock. But that's why I've got a team.
But that's exactly when you build to that level, then you start making those things in place.
I could be at a 500,000 rand apartment today, and I can be in a 82 million rand mansion in Waterfall Equestrian Estates, all in the same day.
Yeah.
So I try and give the same level of service to every single client. Starting out, it's more about guiding and education. At the top end, it's more about discretion, like strategizing what is the best way to create the deal and how we're going to package it to the market, because like the high end, it's not easy to sell the high end.
Yeah.
You got to be very strategic, and you just got to believe that you're going to find the right person. But it's
So I always say real estate is a very misconception. Real estate is luck.
yeah.
It's like dating.
It's
Honestly, you can go on a
100% like
dating
dating.
and the perfect person's there, but it's the wrong timing. I mean, real estate is a little bit of luck. Obviously, the most important month on the market is vital. And this is where it comes down to pricing. The overpricing in the market is insane. And we watch it with a lot of property practitioners saying, I'll take that property at 6.5 million because the seller wants to hear it's worth 6.5.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then you just screwed your entire month on the market because the public is a lot more educated than we realize. Buyers are seeing every property on the
Especially
market.
today.
Exactly, and with social media and everything else. So when it comes down to clients that you meet with, and they're, one client that I went to, they said, well, I have to walk away with 3.5. Well, that's cool, but that ain't happening.
Exactly.
How do you navigate the price conversation?
So, look, it's not just a guess. It comes with experience, it comes with data, it comes with what's on the market, what is registered. You got to look at all these factors and gut. You've obviously been in that same situation. You've sold something similar. Is it a better home than the house that you've just sold? So it's not a guess. It's you have got a good idea of what it's worth. Trust your gut. If I've got a client and they tell me, no, it's this because I'm moving to Cape Town or I'm moving to Dubai, now they need an extra 2 million rand. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen. The value is the value.
Yeah.
And if you want me, this is what it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, we can play around slightly, but if it's completely overpriced, I'm not the agent for you. And good luck with selling. I'll see you in 6 months' time.
Yeah, that was my favorite line. So in Canada, we said that there's 1 million property practitioners, real estate agents in Canada. And I'd always say there is 3,500 other agents to choose from. You should go with one of them. When you realize it's overpriced, then we'll talk again. Because the time
and
and energy.
Being arrogant. It's not being arrogant. It's just
who's the professional?
Yeah.
There are so many clients that I went to here in South Africa, and they're like, well, this is the price I want. Well, don't you want to hear what I have to say? Why did you bring me here?
So
you know what I mean?
Most sellers, they sell their home once every 5, 10, 15, 20 years. We do this on the daily.
Exactly.
We the professional.
Yeah.
And look, it can be 50,000, or it obviously depend on the price bracket, but it could be 50,000 up or 50,000 down.
Yeah.
This is where you can expect. And that's what I tell sellers. And I try and manage expectations. If things aren't moving, this is the next point.
Yeah,
In a month's
exactly.
time, let's see where we are. Let's see what social media is saying. Let's see what P24, private property, let's see what the platforms are saying. If your house isn't sold and we haven't had a viewing, it's the price.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
Yeah. But I'd also use buyer comments. Like I was really big with getting buyers' feedback. So I would always want the buyers to give me feedback. And I always say to my clients, if 10 buyers are saying it's overpriced, it's overpriced. And it's not because they're trying to work you down. They didn't give you an offer to work you down. They're just saying it's overpriced. If 10 buyers say that the red in the kitchen is a turn off, yes, it's as simple as painting.
I've had lots of those red kitchens.
Paint that. Just paint it, you know. So I remember I went to a listing appointment here. So I was sitting at 4.5 and I spent days getting a proper evaluation. Even went to some of the houses that have recently sold in person, knocked on the door and asked if I could go see the house. And I was competing with 2 other agents. Their market evaluation, one was 6 million, one was 5.3. Mine was at 4.5.
Yeah.
Obviously I got booted out, but I thought, where on earth are they getting these evaluations? Like, I would love for it to be worth that. Obviously, you see, at the end of the day, the more it sells for, the more commission we make.
Yeah,
so
we work on percentages.
You know, and then my favorite line is, if it's underpriced, it goes faster and you'll get multiple offers. There is almost impossible to underprice a home because more people will jump on it.
Yeah.
Because the market is very educated. But overpricing a house, it's the killer.
It's a killer.
It's a killer. So with regards to brand new property practitioners, it's what we see the most is new property practitioners take whatever they can get. I remember I was at a function, at a conference on stage. The principal said, doesn't matter what price they want, agree to it and then work them down. And I thought, well, I mean, don't do that because it's expensive to market these properties. So why would you ever condone that kind of behavior? So obviously, when you started out your career, I learned that lesson very quickly. Overpricing actually costs more money. And then your clients get mad at you because it's taking too long to sell. So for new property practitioners, do you think they should just take whatever they can get?
No.
Or do you think they should really qualify that price?
Take your mentor with you in the
Yeah.
beginning. So for the first 3-4 years, I went with my mentor, and you'd ask me, what do you think it's worth? Like when the seller's not around, I'd tell him, it's like we've been aligned. It was normally in the beginning, it was like a little bit further and further apart, and then it started to get closer and closer, and then I kind of see what is a 3 million rand home worth, what is a 5 million rand worth, what is a 600,000 rand apartment, and why can't you get over that? And the value is the value. So stay away from overpriced properties, because it's also not going to make your name look good when when the industry see that you're not selling. So for me,
When the neighbors see that you're not selling.
yeah, so I take it at the right price, and if you take it at the right price, you'll get more competition. More competition will create the price, and sometimes you even get over. Ask.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of the times, if the neighbors who see that sold sign move really quickly, they're now calling you as well. So it's very important that people watch their pricing. So now we're going to go to the agent. Does the agent own property? Okay, so this is the question everyone whispers but rarely asks aloud. Do you own property yourself? And if so, how many properties? Did it come from your real estate industry? Do you often find properties that you want to buy yourself? How did you get to this point of owning? I know you own property.
Yes, so I do own property. I believe in property, and I practice what I preach. I've said this a few times, and I might have said it on different platforms. The more title deeds you have when you retire, the better your life will be. And if those properties are paid up, your tenants will sustain your lifestyle. Do you want to travel? Okay, great. This is how much it's going to cost you. In 10 years' time, it's going to be a little bit more. Make sure that you have enough tenants to make sure that you are doing what you need to do. But that comes with hard work. Do I own properties? Yes, I do. And I'll continue to buy properties because I believe in it, and it's long term, it will always do this. It can go down, and I've seen it go down, and it's tough times. And when the market crashes, that's when agents, especially the inexperienced, that's when they leave the industry. And the top agents will always be there. Yeah. So I do own properties. I've sold one recently, so I've got 5 properties. It should be more. It has to be more. So if you have got a property for me to buy, it's a good deal, I'll buy it from you. But yes, I do. If I believe that it's a good deal, I will purchase it.
So you started in the industry young, so you didn't own. When you bought, did it become a completely different way of selling for you when you finally were able to buy your own property?
Definitely. Definitely. It just helped with the confidence. And look, by the time I moved out of my parents' home, I already owned 3 properties. So my advice to anyone starting out, buy while you're still staying at home. Your tenants are going to pay for the bond. It's as simple as that. And then you take the lease agreement from this property, and then you buy another property. As long as you have the purchasing power, you can start growing your property portfolio. And that's how I slowly started. It should be more. I should have worked harder. But hey, I'm here now. I can only work hard today, and that's what I can control. So, yeah, it
buying property really does help.
I think I bought my first property at like 24, I think. And yeah, I'll never forget my first property. I'll never sell it. I nearly did sell it when the market had a little bit of a dip. But I'm very thankful that things picked up again, and I kept it. So yeah, it's my old baby. That's my little brother.
I remember when I bought my first property, it was not my baby. It was a hellhole, but it's okay. So I want to quickly go through what is one piece of advice you would give someone who is terrified to start in property. The fear is real, obviously. It's a scary thing to do. It does require confidence. So what's a piece of advice you would say?
Very good question. So yeah, the fear is very real. The fear of rejection, it happens a lot in real estate. You have to have thick skin. Thick skin. If you don't have thick skin, forget it. You're going to go home and you're going to cry. And that leads you to your next thing, your support system, your family, your spouse. You need to tell your parents, Mom and Dad, I'm starting this. I need you there to support me because it's going to be tough. The first few months, no one's calling you. You looking and trying to create business. It's going to feel like you're not making any headway. And eventually it happens. You get your first listing and you start slowly growing and climbing up the ladder. So it's terrifying. It's the most difficult industry. The first 2 years, look, I've seen gifted agents where they come in and within 6 months they've already sold X amount of properties. That's the exception. That's the 0.01% of real estate agents. And but for the majority, like I only sold one property in my first few months, and then but I'm glad I started. I'm glad that I knew that this was for me. And I didn't want to become a real estate agent. I fell into it.
Yeah.
I was doing my honors in insurance and risk financing. I was going to go into insurance because there's a lot of money in insurance. There is.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of money in real estate. If you do it properly and you look after your clients and you get involved for the right reasons, you've got to be in it for the long haul.
So you get a lot of testimonials. What is the number one thing your clients say about you?
I am who I say I am. I'm
Transparent.
transparent. I'm not arrogant, which is important. You get a lot of arrogant agents, and no one likes an arrogant agent. So just be kind, be loving.
Compassionate,
compassionate.
empathy.
Last week, I actually cried with one of my clients that told me like their story, and like I just put myself in their shoes. I empathized, and I phoned my wife, and I'm like I just cried, and then I phoned my sister because it was something to do with him losing his sister, and I'm like I just thought of losing you, and it was like hectic.
Yeah.
And she said it was actually difficult, and I'm like, I'm so sorry that I'm crying, and he's like, no, he understands, and it's just like. It's difficult.
Be
so
real.
I empathize, be real. You can't be everything to everyone, and sometimes the ball is going to drop, and sometimes you are going to get complaints, and it's not the first and it's not going to be the last. You're not going to make everybody happy. It's just impossible. But if you can make 99% of your clients happy, you're doing well.
Yeah, and the number one thing that you're looking for is to be trusted. I mean, this is the biggest purchase someone will ever make in their entire life. So I've looked at some of your reviews, and a lot of your reviews is he's honest, he's good, and they trust you.
Yeah, they do.
And that's something you cannot build with companies. You cannot build with Chase Everett's. Like Chase Everett's has a name, but you yourself are a name too. And I think property practitioners forget to set themselves apart from their actual company. You also have to have that reputation within you. If you decided to ever leave Chase, which I'm sure you won't, don't worry guys, but where do you move to after that? So build that reputation that your customers will always come back no matter where you are, no matter who you are. A lot of the reviews that I read about you is that I trust him, he was transparent, he was honest. And that's what people are looking into when they're selling or buying. They want to know that they're safe. And that's why, we created Zap Hub, is to give people that extra added level of safety, because it is such a wild, wild west right now.
It really is. Look, trust, it's the currency in real estate. And Warren Buffett said, it takes 20 years to build a good name, but it takes just 1 second or one client to ruin it.
Yeah.
So, but that goes back to, you'll never make everybody happy. Buyers, they think that us agents live in the home. We don't. Fortunately, there is an immovable property conditions report. And the sellers, they must be honest about their home. Is there damp? Is there whatever? Just be honest. Let the buyers make an
informed decision.
Based on that, and their offer will reflect that. At least now you know that there's no comebacks. But sometimes buyers think that's like we just try to, but we can't. How?
Yeah.
I've got my own home. I've got my family. That's who I go home to. So, I do empathize. I bought a home like that, by the way, where the whole electric works. The seller actually paid for the electrical compliance certificate. When the property registered, I had my electrician, and yes, guys, me. I do this every single day. I made that mistake, but I trusted that the seller would do the right thing. get a valid electrical compliance certificate, and that was done properly. But no, it wasn't. I had my electrician go in the roof. He climbed down. He's like, no, you don't want to know something. It's going to be 100,000 rand to rewire this home.
So then the exact same thing happened to me. So Nuno asked me, why are buyers not getting the COC? Why are we getting them from the sellers?
So when I buy now, I'll make it a condition in my offer that, and I explain to the sellers, this is what I've been through, and it's not because I don't trust you.
So you do now make it a condition that the buyer has to get one. Thank God someone's doing it that way.
But
honestly.
I can even give him like, these are 3 people that I work with, get quotes, and I trust them.
Yeah.
And if the seller says no, then unfortunately, well, that's it.
We're going to walk away.
I can't. But it's so important. I promise you, I nearly had a heart attack. At the age of 30, I just bought a beautiful family home. I knew I was going to renovate, but I didn't factor in that it's going to be over 100,000 rand to redo the electrical work that should have been done with the COC.
The exact same thing happened to me.
But there were lots of things.
So we talk about the agent doesn't know everything. Because I bought sight unseen from Canada, the thing that made me the most frustrated is obviously my attorney went in, the conveyancer went in, the property practitioners went in there. As soon as I took early possession, I walked in the house and I saw the 32 electrical cables running all over. I'm like, there's no way no one didn't know. You know what I mean? Like someone knew something was happening. Everyone knew this bloody COC was purchased. And that's why we brought on ZapHub, because I hired an electrician to come fix it, 82,000 rand. Asked him for a new COC. Oh, I'll have to get another company to do that. I'm like, what do you mean? Why? He was an electrician. So I had to hire another electrician to come fix the work that he had just done for 102,000 rand. So trust me, when buyers need to also care. We're asking the sellers to present all these things, but the seller has an incentive to protect themselves.
Yeah.
So buyers need to also start protecting themselves. It's 2,500 rand, maybe 3,000 rand sometimes. Get it done. You're buying a 2 million, 5 million, 10 million rand house. Like, come on. So I'm really glad to hear that you do that. That's why we're saying Nuno he's coming on our platform. We're gonna bring him on. It's happening, people. So now what we're gonna do, there's so many. We could talk forever and ever, but I know you have to go, and we're just gonna have to book another podcast at some other time. But we're going to do a segment that we call Zap It Out. Okay. So you're going to answer these questions as quickly as you can, one words, whatever you want to do. Okay. But this is going to be fast-paced. I normally do a timer, but every single time I've done a timer, I've ignored it, and I just want to know the answers.
Okay, cool. So, let's try to be quick with these.
Okay. A buyer loves a property but hasn't been pre-approved.
I can help you.
Oh, there we go. A seller asks, why shouldn't I just list with the agent who charges half your commission?
You're going to get half the effort.
You're in an open house and nobody shows up for an hour.
Take a book, study, read, learn what's happening in the industry.
Okay. A lead says, I'll call you when I'm ready.
They're never going to call you. Always follow back, follow
through. It's literally in brackets it said. They're never going to call you.
And always follow up.
Yeah. Always follow up. So here's something that I preach, and I'm stopping for a second, people. Until you give me a no, and I will say this to anybody I ever talk to, until you give me a hard no, I'm calling. If it's a maybe, I'm going to keep calling. If you don't want to talk to me, just say it. So if you want my respect, give me respect too.
Yes.
So I'll respectfully not call you if you say stop.
Yes.
Your first listing expires without selling.
Communication, have that conversation with the owners and let them know that you're still going to get the job done. Let's relook
get the extension.
Let's relook at the home, the price, maybe change the main photo. Let's work on it together. You gave me the opportunity. I want to finish what we started.
I love it. Your friend asked, do you work for free because we're family?
Well, unfortunately not, but I do have a friend and family rate.
Ooh, okay. I'm friends now, right? Okay. A client leaves you with a negative review.
It's going to happen. See what you can do about it, and don't let it get you down. If you're making 9 out of 10 people happy, like you're on a good run, and just try keep doing the right thing that you know is right by you. And but if you can fix it, try fix it.
Mm-hmm. Competitor badmouths you to potential clients.
It's going to happen. Sometimes they lead the seller right into
That
my
was
lap.
my favorite
And
thing.
thank you so much for saying what you say.
You're paralyzed by which social media platform to focus on.
TikTok.
I say that too. A seller wants to price 20% above your recommendation.
Good luck. I'm not the agent for you.
You're running out of savings and no deal is closing.
You one sale away from having a bad month turning into a good month. Just keep going.
That was it. But I have to go back to two things. The Google reviews. I always take this as an opportunity to, first of all, take accountability. If you did screw up, maybe you do. People do. We're all human.
Yeah, I have.
Take accountability. And second, use that as your next learning.
100%. Learn from your mistakes, and wise people learn from the mistake of others.
So go read other people's bad Google reviews and find out what not to do.
Yeah, so it's going to happen. Try fix it and make sure that it doesn't happen again. We're all human, right?
So the other thing I wanted to go back to is other agents who badmouth you. I've got a fun story. I have to say this. Okay, so I had an agent in Canada who hated me because I worked for a low commission company back in Canada. And I kept getting people calling me who I had no idea where they were from. And it was because this guy went on a campaign against me for like an entire 2 years. So at Christmas, I would send him a thank you basket every single Christmas, because the more he talked about me, the more customers I got. And it was, it made me remember bad PR is sometimes just PR. So it's okay if your competitor's talking about you.
Agreed.
And like you said, use it to your advantage. So many times I would get customers from people I had no idea where they were coming from, and someone introduced them to me, and I'm like, oh, cool. Hi.
You'll never ever hear me speaking about another agency, and like, even if I don't like the person, if I respect them in the industry because they've done great work, I'll say that. I respect what they do. Brilliant agents. And but I don't ever speak about other agents to clients. At the end of the day, it doesn't always happen the other way, but it will always lead to me, and then I always end up getting the listing.
Yeah, but it's also because
what is
you
the
back it up.
difference between me and another agent? I'll tell you what. It's my social media. It's the experience that I have.
Absolutely.
I will give you exposure. Mr. Seller, do you want exposure? I'm the right agent for you.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, you built yourself to that point, right? And now you get to use it to your advantage. And I mean, obviously, everybody's going to have people that talk badly about them. I always think of it as a good thing. They're obviously someone's
They want to see it
worried.
for themselves. Is this the person that they really are? But if someone's speaking badly about me, call me up, see if I'm really a bad person, and I'll take it from there.
Exactly. Well, guys, honestly, Nuno is so impressive. I snuck in a couple answers. I wanted to see if he would answer them real. So with regards to him building in the CRC for his buyer, I can't tell you how much I'm telling every property practitioner in South Africa. Please do this. Please do this for the benefit of your buyers. Please recommend home inspections, because like Nuno says, you don't know everything about the house. So get them to do a home inspection. It protects you, it protects the seller, it protects the buyer. We need to advocate for this industry and bring back professionalism. Agents, if you're looking to take property priced over asking just because you want stock, understand that actually hurts you in the long run. So, we are professionals in this industry. Obviously, the 9 out of 10 aren't actually professionals, and that's why we're saying get an FFC. Make sure you ask those right questions. Nuno is so impressive. There's a reason why he's built himself to this level. And the fact that he has brought up his social media to now be able to win those listing appointments over and above other agents. And if you're an agent out there in the old school mentality, social media, guys, I mean, it's huge.
Fun.
It is fun too.
See the fun side of it.
Absolutely.
Learn something new. I'm learning Afrikaans now, so
I gotta learn Afrikaans. My kid is trying to teach me Zulu. He's really good at it.
Good. Must learn.
I'm trying. I suck at languages. So we've come to the end of this episode. The whole point of this episode was to get property practitioners who are brand new in the space to hear from someone who started from nothing and is where he's at today with 5 properties, 5 major social media platforms. And doing extremely well. And you actually changed companies, so you had to start all over again within your own industry.
Yeah.
So I'm so impressed by you. I hope property practitioners out there understand who to find in the industry as a mentor. You can't always have him, he's busy, but you can find someone like Nuno. But also for buyers and sellers out there, it's important for you to understand what it is you're looking for in a property practitioner. And if someone's doing 9 to 5, someone's not taking professional pictures, just walk away, go find someone else. There's so many to choose from. And that was kind of the story here. So is there anything you'd like to leave with our audience today?
Stay tuned for what's to come.
Absolutely. And you can check him out on all his socials and his YouTube channel, which we're going to link. And if you have any questions for Nuno specifically, put it in the comments and we'll reach out to him and get him to answer it. But you can find Nuno at Chase Everett's. And where's your primary areas?
All over Johannesburg. I'm willing to do the work. I'm a hard worker, so just holler. And if it's a little bit out of my reach, I'll connect you with someone that will take on your.
And do you have a price restriction?
No.
No? Okay, good to know.
I'm happy to work. I'm happy to service, to serve the community. And anyone that comes from social media, I make sure that I try going above and beyond, because I've really worked long, hard hours to get it to where it is, and it's all been worth it. And I know that where it's going to be in 5 years, 10 years time, and I'm just going to keep pushing.
Yeah. You guys, that's the moral of the story. Keep pushing. This is not an industry for everyone. It's just not. That's why the turnover is so big. You have to put yourself out there. So take a lesson from Nuno. You can go check out his podcast. He does a lot of content. Obviously, check him out on social media and TikTok. I love your content on TikTok.
Thank you.
But great job to everyone who works on his team. We're very impressed by you guys. And agents, pay attention to the ones that are doing it, because that's where you need to get yourself. Anyway, have a great day. We'll see you on the next episode. Talk to you soon. Bye.
See you soon.
Zap hop, yeah boy, let's go.